all improvements, self-improvement systems are based on having problems.
Mhm.
You've got to have a problem for your tool to work. And if you have this lovely shiny tool that you've learned, spent so many years polishing, refining, and using, guess what you're going to do when you finish the piece of work you're on? You know what you're going to do?
Find the next problem.
Yes. So, just to refresh my mind, Drew, do you practice some kind of self-improvement thing on a regular basis at the moment?
Yeah, I meditate and I'm going through your self-hypnosis course right now.
Beautiful, right? Nothing I say today will cast any aspersions on what you do. It's still valuable stuff. However, I do want to make you aware of a flaw that will be present. It's less so in meditation, although it's still somewhat in meditation, so that we can fix that today. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Rahul, what about you?
So it's a combination of self-hypnosis, meditation,
Mhm.
more visualization, not so
Perfect.
much the affirmations.
That's totally fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we want to fix, what problem we want to avoid, so that our perfect life is within reach, as opposed to constantly just out of reach. What does it feel? Does it feel like your life is perfect right now, guys?
No.
No, right? I'm going to challenge that presupposition in a moment, if I may, right? But before we get there, I want to look at a little bit about what's going on here, why it feels like it might not be perfect yet, right? So the problem with all self-improvement systems, at least the ones I've come across, is this. They are attainment systems. They're saying to you basically, here's how you reach or achieve something or reach something or get something you currently do not have. That means, by definition, those systems, the ones I'm talking about right now, have a problem orientation or problem fixation. You're given tools to remove the problems and the obstacles that you perceive are between you and the life you want to have. Does that fit more or less where you're at in terms of the
Yeah.
things you've tried?
Mm,
Right?
Definitely.
that's future-based.
It's future-based, and there's a pernicious little presupposition in there as well. All improvements, self-improvement systems are based on having problems.
Mhm.
You've got to have a problem for your tool to work. And if you have this lovely shiny tool that you've learned, spent so many years polishing, refining, and using, guess what you're going to do when you finish the piece of work you're on? You know what you're going to do?
Find the next problem.
Yes. And your mind is really, really good at finding things. And if you tell your mind, go find me a problem, it's going to find your problem, not just one problem, 5, 10. You tell me how many we want, and you say problem, and I say how high. Are you seeing the problem here? The problem is not self-hypnosis. The problem is not meditation. The problem is not journaling. The problem is not even therapy, right? These are all wonderful things to be able to do and have in your life. Are you with me?
Mm.
The problem is the presupposition that sneaks into our minds that we need a problem to fix. And if only we could fix the problem ultimately, then we'd ultimately live in the life that we want.
So does this also tangle in with goals as well? Like how does this like relate with like, oh, I have this goal of what I want to achieve in the next 12
Yes,
months?
100%. Now, look,
Dissonance.
once again, goals and goal achievements, there's nothing wrong with it. Unless, and unfortunately, this is again habits people fall into. The problem with goals is sometimes they're problem oriented, but the other time they're future oriented. In other words, you're constantly thinking the grass is greener over then, some other time in the future. So you're always living in the future as opposed to enjoying the now. Again, I'm not knocking goal setting. I think it's a wonderful thing to do. Just like I'm not knocking self-hypnosis or journaling and all these other kind of self-improvement methods, right? The problem is the mindset that it instills in us. And we've got to be really careful not to fall into that mental trap because our minds give us exactly what we expect. If we expect problems, we'll get problems. If the future is always better, well, you'll never get to better. You get the idea?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a little experiment here, thought experiment. Everyone please join in with this, but I'll do it with you guys more directly because we're talking right now. Is that okay? So let's talk about your life satisfaction number, right? What is this number? It's an invented number. I want you to just take a casual look at your whole life, everything that's in your life right now, right? And then on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 is like the most perfect life you could hope for, and 0 is, beyond the dumpster fire. Where do you think your life is at now?
Or a 6.5.
6.5? What about
I
you?
would say 6 as well. Yeah.
6.5. Okay, perfect, right? So most people are in a range between 5 and 7, right? If some of you are saying 8 or 9, that's amazing. Well done, guys. You'll see the value of what we're doing here very clearly very soon, right? But the average basically 5 to 7. We're getting a lot of 5 to 7s here. A few lower numbers like 3s and 4s. I totally get that. And a few high numbers, 8s and 9s, and that's wonderful. And hopefully I'll still have something of value to show you here, right? Now, what I want to do is a little thought experiment. I want you to remember the number here, right? So 6.5 for both of you. Everyone else, please remember the number you wrote down. And you'll give me later on a number like a 7 / whatever. So give me the old number first and then the new number once we do this thought experiment. Please really invest your mind, engage your mind in this thought experiment, right? Raoul, Drew, something awful has just happened. You have been accused and convicted of murder, death, kill, and it's completely false. You know, the witness is lying, the police are out to get you. You are now being moved into a terrifying prison where the inmates are seeking to break you the very second you walk in to see if they can make you cry before you can get to your cell. And that's just the beginning of the nightmare. When you get into your cell, your cellmate steals half of the things you're allowed to take in with you. You have to sleep with one eye open because you might get the living tar beaten out of you in the middle of the night. You have to engage in the daytime in degrading and demeaning thing, just to be accepted in a gang that will give you a modicum of protection. And this goes on day after day, week after week, month after month. Is this a happy place for you?
No.
Right? So then this in your imaginations run as long as you can endure. So it's a properly awful outcome. And then we get to the reprieve. There's been an appeal. New evidence comes forward. You have been vindicated. You've been released. You are now home. And you are back in the house you're in right now, living the life you live right now, eating the food you are eating right now. You're with the people you're with right now. Now tell me, life satisfaction number.
10.
Where's it at now?
10 plus, yeah.
Yeah. 10.
Right? Everyone else, please give me your numbers as well. Give me the old number / the new number so we can see where we're going with this, right? Now, this is an important thought experiment here, folks, right? For almost everyone, there's a few exceptions, but for almost everyone, the number has gone close to 10, if not exceeding. Some people actually give me 11, right? What does this tell you?
It's
It tells you-
relative. Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking.
No, you're quite right. It's relative. Tell me more.
Yeah, well, it's relative to like, so it's all in contrast, right? Like it's relative to where we think we should be versus like where we are. So like if we take our current situation and we can create a stark contrast, that's obviously going to bump the number, regardless of whether the contrast would be or not if we were there without.
You are correct. And that's the tool I use to set the thought experiment in motion, right? But the bigger principle is this. It's about what you perceive. It's how you perceive your life. And the problem with your perceptions are they tend to become true. In other words, if you expect problems, you perceive problems, and then you have problems. Are you with me? If you found this insightful, make sure to subscribe for more fascinating discussions on the power of the mind and hypnosis.